All right, so number 5, statistics question. So part A, for the class 21 to 30, they want the lower class boundary. The lower class boundary is the midpoint between the two numbers. So the class above would have been 11 to 20. The midpoint between 20 and 21 is 20.5. This is the lower class boundary. Just as a note, 21 is the lower class limit and 30 is the upper class limit, right? So these are the limits, but the boundaries in between the limits. Yes. The class width is 10, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I always use my fingers, you can't go wrong. All right, each one is 1 mark. Part B, in 31 to 40, in that class there are 42 vehicles. How did I get that? You notice I have something here, because the table that they gave us was a cumulative frequency table. So to get the vehicles that are only in 31 to 40, you had to subtract what was given, the cumulative vehicles in 31 minus 40 minus the cumulative from the one before. So 101 minus 59 is 42. There are 42 vehicles. Another 1 mark question. Part C. Part C asks for the probability that the volume of petrol needed to fill its tank is more than 50.5. So probability is your total over how many are in your section. So just like before, the section that we need is 51 to 60. To get this, I had to subtract 129 from 150, giving me 21. So my probability is 21 over 150. Reduce, divide by 3, then divide by whatever, and we will get the answer 7 over 50. And you have to read your questions properly, because it bold the last sentence of part C says leave your answer as a fraction. Leave your answer as a fraction. So it is 7 over 50. And you always want to reduce your fractions as low as they can go. So if you just had 21 over 150, you will not get the mark. You need a 7 over 50 to get the mark. So 1 mark for getting the 21 and another mark for getting the 7 over 50. Good. All right, so part D asks, Byron estimates the median amount of petrol to be 43.5 liters. Explain why Byron's estimate is incorrect. So we know that the median is the middlemost entry. So if the total is 150, the middle would be 75. When we go through the cumulative graph, we see that the 75th entry will be in the class 31 to 40. Remember, it's a cumulative things. 1 mark for that. That's what you have to put. All right, then we had to draw the histogram. All right, so we were given the scale, we were given the frequency. You had to come up with your scale here and also label, because we have the volume in liters. So when you're doing a histogram, not a bar chart, it is not exactly the same. You notice I have what? The boundaries: 10.5, 20.5, 30.5, 40.5, 50.5, and 60.5. Histograms, we go with the boundaries, not the limits. So just as how we had to work out the 42 and the 21 for these, right? We want to work out the exact amount for each class, and then it's just a matter of labeling up everything. Yes, so this was what? 24, 35, 42, 28, 21. Yeah, this is your histogram, right? So tip to remember: limits, boundaries, and not limits for histograms. All right, and that's it. How much marks was this? Alright, so this was 3 marks. Right, you cannot have any space between the bars. We want to make sure that your scale and you had this labels, that you plotted the boundaries and each one was correct. So that's the 3 marks right there. Your labels, the boundaries, and the correct frequencies. 1 mark each to give us 3 marks.